Hello and welcome to TVC News. At this hour, we will be staying with the burial of the Chief of Army Staff and 10 others who died in a plane crash on Friday. The bodies of the deceased have arrived at the Protestant church at the Air Force Base in Abuja.
Gertrude.
Well, the body of the Chief of Army Staff at the Protestant church at the Air Force Base in Abuja. And TVC News correspondent Femi Akonde is right there giving us these updates. Videos that you have seen right now is live videos from the church in Abuja, the Air Force Base, Abuja. Now, earlier, their bodies arrived at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, and they were brought in by a C-130 aircraft.
No problem, no. He's following the shots.
All of you to come now. Just come. Okay. Okay, gentlemen, move sharp. Come now. Move sharp there.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I understand. Sure.
All right, our TVC News correspondent Femi Akonde joins me live from the Protestant Church at the Air Force base in Abuja, the venue of the service where the bodies of the deceased have arrived in Abuja. Femi Akonde, thank you very much for joining us at this point. Now, tell us about today's proceedings at the church. What are you seeing at this point?
Well, we have 5 ambulances here carrying 5 caskets containing the remains of military officers who were killed in that air crash, that fatal air crash in Kaduna yesterday. That aircraft was also carrying the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru. But what is happening here is a lying in state, and prayers will be held for the dead, those who are of the Christian faith. They are bringing their bodies here to the Protestant church at the army headquarters here in Abuja. Just one after the other. That is the second casket being taken into the church now. We will see in that same procession, in that same order, 5 of them will be taken one after the other. The second is on its way into the church now, and the third is already being prepared to be taken into the church in military procession, with a military procession. Everything here is organized, of course, in a military order, and it happened suddenly, but you know, every day what is going on here today, the event is well organized, well coordinated by the military. The remains of the Chief of Army Staff will be taken to the National Mosque in Abuja, where prayers will be held for him at about midday, just about now. In a short while, prayers will start for the Chief of Army Staff and other members on board who are of the Muslim faith. We'll have prayers for them at the mosque before all the bodies will be moved to the national and the military cemetery, I beg your pardon, where interment will take place. Already our defense correspondent, Sifon Essien, is at the military cemetery. He'll be giving us live updates from the military cemetery, but he has also told us that at the military cemetery, 11 graves have been dug. That those graves will contain the 11 people on board, both our crew members, the Chief of Army Staff, some of his aides as the head of military intelligence, the ADC to the Chief of Army Staff, Air Force officers who are members of the crew are flying that private aircraft, that aircraft, I beg your pardon, belonging to the Nigerian Air Force, and all of them will be laid to rest at the military cemetery later today at about 1 p.m. or thereabout.
All right, since you're there, tell us about the mood of the men around. How are they feeling after the death of the Chief of Army Staff?
Well, it's really hard to tell the mood around here because, you know, everyone around here, yes, it's a quiet, somber mood around here, but we have not seen tears flowing freely because these are military men. The places where we saw tears flowed freely, where the families of the deceased are seated. Those are civilians. We have seen a lot of them display emotions, crying. Some of them even want the casket open so that they can see the remains of their loved ones. But you know, in this kind of event, there is order, and that order must be followed, and it's everything will be done according to the customs and tradition of the military. It's not like the conventional funeral where maybe civilians are being buried. Everything will be done according to military customs and tradition. They are trying to make family members understand that their loved ones are army officers who died defending the country, and they died in active service, and so they should allow the military, as is the custom, take charge today.
Talking about the family members, are they also allowed? Are they there? Femi Akonde, if you can hear me, I was asking about the family members that you just made reference to. Talk to us about them. Are they present at the church?